Sorry about the sun. It's the only angle I can really get a good angle on this, so I'll try to keep the sun out of the lens as much as possible. So before I get started in today's video, I want to show you some of the progress I made in this field that we're cleaning up so the corn garden can get enough sunlight. So the evening before I got sick, in yesterday's video I told you I got sick, I'm still kind of recovering from that. I just don't want to overdo it. I've been still sleeping quite a bit, so I'm just kind of resting. I might get back on this tomorrow. So we got a massive amount knocked down now. It's hard from this perspective to get a clear understanding, but imagine all this and that over there looked like this. So I don't have much more to go and I'll be finished, and then it's just all laying on the ground. I got to get cleaned up. This had grown up over the fence here. The cedar tree did, so it knocked down this fence. You can see it ripped out the fence pole, so I got a lot of these branches pulled out already. I'll hook the lawnmower up to these and I'll drag them away. The lawnmower will pull that quite easily, and then we'll have plenty of room to put our corn garden down over there, and we'll give this some time to recover. I don't know what we're gonna do with it, just filled with trash. My mother suggested that I buy some stump rot stuff. I looked at it and I might do that. It's not that expensive. I want to look at the chemicals a little bit to make sure that the runoff won't hurt the animals. So the other day I brought up the idea of raising pigs. I'm probably 99% positive we're going to get pigs this coming spring. And I made a video a while back and I discussed all this. If you will, I'd appreciate it. At the end of this video I'll put a card up on the screen. It'll pop right up. Last 25 seconds of the video or something. If you'll click that, you'll be able to watch this video where I was talking about pigs. Carolyn and I have been giving a lot of thought about how we want to do our homestead, how we want to raise chickens, and what other farm animals we may or may not want. I mean, we don't take any of this lightly. It's not like, okay, we're gonna make a YouTube video and okay, we're gonna raise pigs. No, as a matter of fact, Carolyn actually struggled the longest time with the idea of raising pigs. She's never raised them before. Of course, when I was growing up, my grandparents raised them. So it wasn't even that I had to convince her to raise them. I was okay either way. If she wanted to raise them, fine. If she didn't, fine. We talked about rabbits. I'm not a big fan of rabbits, but we talked about rabbits. So if she'd have wanted to go with rabbits, we'd have, bought a few of those, see how they went. Now chickens, we're both very comfortable with chickens. We both raise chickens. I've raised ducks. Now, you have to understand that I lived on this little city block in a non-incorporated area. I mean, it was an old town. It was actually called a village. It had 100 people in it. But it was just a regular city block. What was there, four houses on the city block? And I raised ducks, chickens, goats, and sheep. I think that was it. Oh, and rabbits. In my adult life, I've been able to raise farm animals in the city, essentially, with 4 other people. You got to keep the noise down, you got to keep the smells down, and so it doesn't intrude in everybody else's life. Well, it got so popular, people liked the idea so much, my neighbor started raising chickens also. His kid would come out at nighttime to get rid of the raccoons. We had chickens, and right next door to the chickens, they had chickens. We've got a lot of experience with farm animals. Now, raising pigs, I raised pigs with my grandparents when I was, well, I don't know. I guess most of my life I dealt with pigs. So I have a pretty good idea how to raise them. Now, I didn't know all the specifics, like how much it was gonna cost to raise pigs or how big they got. I didn't remember any of that. But I even remember when I came home from the military, my grandparents were starting to get up in age. They still had pigs. Grandpa would go out every day with a bucket of slop, 2 or 3 times a day with a bucket of slop, feed them. Pigs had to be fed like humans. They have to eat three meals a day or something like that. But in my mind, pigs are really easy to raise. They're really smart, easy to train. I remember going out with Grandma. We would go out and pet them. And the reason she did it was she wanted to be able to call the pig. And the pigs got so trained that when you opened the back door, they knew that you were going to feed them. Same with our chickens. Our chickens do the same thing. When we walk this side of the house, they think they're going to get to come out. So I try not to walk this side of the house. That way they know, oh, it's feeding time, and they all come to the gate, they're ready to go. And we're gonna do the same thing with the pigs. When they see us, they'll know that they're getting food. And we'll make noises like, hey pig, hey pig, hey pig. That way, if for whatever reason, if they ever got loose, then I can just say, hey pig, I'll have some food. They'll know that I'm out here. They'll come running to you. They're easy to train. Just the other day, there was a post on Facebook of our area. Of course, the Facebook group for our area. And somebody said, hey, if you see our pigs, can you let us know? We'll come and get them. They left the gate open on their hog confinement and they got out. Well, I mean, it wasn't 10 minutes later. Somebody said, oh, they're on my property, and they ran over to the property and got some cabbage. The pigs walked right into the back of the pickup truck or the trailer or whatever they had. I mean, they're just like dogs. They're just really easy to train. I've been getting a lot of flack about raising pigs. Oh, it's a bad idea. I don't understand the feedback. I mean, I've gotten some good feedback, but in the majority, it's been pretty negative feedback. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, don't listen to the trolls. We can't call everybody a troll. Some people have just an opinion about things. If they disagree because they think I should get goats, that's not a troll. A troll is, oh, you're too stupid to raise pigs. There's no way you can raise pigs. You don't have the brains. You know, that's a troll. These people aren't trolls. They just have an idea of what a pig is. Now, my channel, I try to do the best I can to teach people how to do things simplistic. We don't have to be experts. We can make this work. I recently put a poll up on my channel and I asked the question, have you ever raised goats? Have you ever raised pigs? Have you raised neither? And I said an adult lifetime. Or have you done both? And something like 70-something% of the people said, I've never raised pigs or goats at all. Yet I get a majority of the feedback is, you need to raise goats. I've raised goats. Okay, so I mean, as an adult, I've raised goats. I hated goats. There was nothing good about it. I mean, they're stubborn animals. At least the ones I had were just so stubborn. The only goat that I had that was reasonable was one of the kids. You know, one of the goats that we had a kid. That's what you call him, a kid. And we sold him, but he seemed to be okay. Now, of course, we sold him as still a little kid. He wasn't full grown. I don't know if he would have gotten more aggressive as he got older. We brought him in the house and the dogs played with him and he would headbutt, and they'll hit you so hard with that head. Of course, this was just a little kid, so it wasn't that bad. Milking them was never easy. We never got enough milk to do anything with. And here we don't even have a place to store milk. We drink dehydrated milk, dried milk, powdered milk. So it's not like that we're going to get any benefit out of them. And then when you actually butcher it to eat, I was able to eat it. I mean, it wasn't like, oh man, this tastes great. It was like, okay, it's meat. But my wife at the time and my daughter both didn't like it. I mean, they ate it, and we made it in such a fashion that they could eat it, so it didn't go to waste. It's not like opening up a jar of pork and just eating it out of the jar. You know, pork's good. Goat took a lot of effort to make good. So it's not, there's just nothing in it that I want to raise goats. Oh, but they'll clear up the property. Well, I don't need the property cleaned up. I've said that before. But people are insistent that I get goats, which brings me back to the poll question. How do you know? Is it because you watched a YouTube video? Is it because that's what you fantasize about? I mean, I'm not trying to discourage you from buying goats. If you want a goat, by all means, you should get a goat. I'm just saying that I'm not a fan of it, and I've raised them, so I've got some experience. I also have experience with a pig, not as an adult, but as a child I didn't. Now, that being said, when we had this little backyard farm, we wanted to get pigs. Of course, the smell would have been too bad for the neighbors, and I had to keep that in mind. Now, we're only going to raise them for 6 months, so they're not going to get to this 800 pounds that everybody keeps talking about. No, they get to 250 pounds. That's about what everybody butchers them at, is about 250 pounds. We'll put them down here in the shade. A lot of people said I need to put them up there where I'm cleaning, but they'll sunburn. Of course, nobody wants to harm an animal. They just don't know any better. And pigs have skin like humans do. Of course, they have more hair, be like hair on your head. They just have it all over the body. I mean, I was criticized when I said that you actually process pigs differently than goats because you want to save the hide. On the pig, you can actually put the whole skin and everything right there on your ham. You can remove the lard. There's a lot of things you can do with pig skin that you can't do with goat skin. Somebody says, oh, that's bull. You can butcher a pig and skin it. Yeah, you can. You can do that with chickens. That's what we did. We skinned chickens. Normally, you don't skin a chicken. So yeah, you can skin a pig. You lose a lot of good food if you do it that way. And Carolyn and I may skin it. When I was a kid, the whole family would come over and we'd all butcher that pig, and there was plenty of hands involved to get everything done. But with it being just me and Carolyn, and we don't have a refrigerator, we're gonna have to do it in the fall on cooler days. Now, lastly, somebody said, well, you should just stick with chickens. You did good with chickens last year. Yeah, we did. We had a lot of success with chickens. But the chickens, for the same weight of meat as a pig would, after it's all processed, we'll get the same amount of meat from all the chickens. We had 50 chickens. Well, a few less because we lost a couple. It costs double the price of what a pig will cost to raise. Now, I've said in the past that we're going to try to breed some of our chickens and we'll get some chicken meat out of them. But the chickens can raise them. We won't have to worry about it. We'll have 2 pigs. So that means the 2 pigs would give us almost a year's worth of food. So that means that for 2 pigs, we will pay the same amount as we did for the 50 chickens that we got. And we only got half a year's of food with the chickens. So I struggle with the idea that folks think that we should change everything, all our plans, and go with goats or chickens, or stick with chickens, and not try the pig thing. Oh, you're getting too old. And you know, well, right now we are still healthy enough that we can raise pigs. So I think we ought to try it now. And if we don't succeed, well, let's say we get, a month into it, we'd go ahead and butcher them at a month old. So if you'll check out that video, it'll talk more about pigs, and I'd really appreciate it. Not only will you learn about what we want to do, it also helps the algorithm know that you like this video. So I hope I can inspire you to do things that you want to do when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.